How's it going, everyone? This is Griever back here, bringing you guys the latest in the Behind the Bar reviews. Now, this week's chapter of Seven Deadly Sins, chapter 284, is entitled The Door of Hope. Alright, looks like we're going to reach some conclusions here. I'm happy about this. Honestly, this chapter is not bad because they are picking up the pace from what we can gather from the end of this chapter, but at the same time, this chapter did not really give us any big new shockers or anything crazy happened, so to speak. This chapter simply takes the first couple pages to reiterate the point about the inversion, because it was kind of poorly explained in other translations like last week. Thankfully this week the translation was on time, so I managed to read the proper one, at least what I consider proper. And this one just reiterated that the ruler is simply inversion. And they figure this out, and they decide, here's our counterattack. And they start fighting the Demon King once again with this renewed vigor. This is where the Demon King's all like, I'll still crush you sort of idea. Bon is using his ability instead of steal, he's calling it gift now. And he's giving his immortal life, like all his immortal life. Now, I don't know if he can actually physically give away his immortality, but he's using his endless life force, which should be endless, to the Demon King, and that's just like stopping him, and he's just, all that fun jazz. Now, this is where Bond tells him, like, make your way to the door, and Wilde and Meliodas find that there is an actual door, and it looks like, sort of reminds me of in Death Note, the portal to Earth sort of idea that Ryuk traveled through in Death Note. Looks like that. It's just like a Grand Canyon. It's this big chasm sort of idea. And there is an actual door behind the Demon King. Fine dandy, but they find out, they hear a scream from behind, and they see that the Demon King has actually grabbed Bond and is trying to crush him in his fist. Now, they're trying to figure out, why is this happening? Like, gifts should be working now. We figured out the ability of the ruler. And this is where the Demon King, once again, translations are a little weird, but suffice it to say, he is choosing not to use he's deactivated the ruler. So now, just during the switchover, Bond was still giving him life, and he deactivated the ruler, so now it wasn't inversion anymore, and now he's getting back and he's being healed again. So, and then he managed to trap Bond like that. Meliodas comes back for him and says, there's not a big enough opening for all three of us to get through, but I'm going to, I'll delay him as best I can. Don't worry, I will follow you. And so Meliodas is choosing, okay, Bon and Wilde, you two need to get to the mortal world. I'll deal with this. I'll be the bait. All three of us are not going to be able to escape from him. But we just proved that we can do it. So right now, I will face him, and you two, get your ass to the gate. Of course, Bon is all, Captain, don't. We can't leave him. Wilde's like, come on, Bon, come on. And the whole time, Meliodas and the Demon King are fighting. They're talking about the Holy War, and they're talking about, you are a failure. The real Meliodas is the only one that is capable of inheriting my throne. And you, his emotions, are the only thing standing in the way, because he is a destroyer. And Meliodas says, no, you are a destroyer. And it just goes back and forth. Two key points I want to bring up. They always reiterate it. Once again, not really new information, but why? Why does the Demon King need to have his throne inherited? Why is Meliodas trying to stop this meaningless war a danger and a risk to the Demon King? Because you have to remember, if the Demon King is going to have his throne inherited, what happens to him? So it's a great question. Why is the Demon King wanting his throne inherited? Why is he, is he bored in purgatory? I would be. But at the same time, why would this be a necessity? Right now, the Holy War is going on. Goddesses and demons alike are being slaughtered. And he's the king. He's the strongest demon. Supreme deity. Strongest goddess. Why do they need their thrones inherited? Or at the very least, we're not sure of the Supreme Deity's situation. But what about the Demon King? Why does his throne need to be inherited? And why is this meaningless war trying to stop the war between goddess and demon clans? Why is that a danger and a risk, as the Demon King points out? There's something else going on in the background. Now, I hope it's not one of those last-minute arc bullshits where, You thought these were the two kami, or the two gods. There's actually a third one, the gray god, the balance, or that chaos balance sort of idea rolled into one. And the true master manipulator who they need to appease or something like. There's a tier above this Demon King Supreme Deity tier, a true god, or so to speak. I would hate for that to be the case, but I can't understand why the Demon King needs to have his throne inherited. Post in the comments down below, what is your theory on why the Demon King is so insistent that Meliodas take his place? How does that benefit him? Why is it a danger to end the Holy War? How does that affect him? What is the key here? We are missing one key piece of information to make this all make sense. And I'm sure it will. I'm just going off on a limb that, they were talking about the year, one more year, and Seven Deadly Sins is over, and I feel like they're going to start rushing. I don't want this rushed. I don't want this to be crappy endings. I don't, the same thing that happens to all our favorite shonens. I do not want this to happen simply because of popularity and then a rush end date to the series. Can't have that. We don't need a Deus Ex Machina. What we need is this key piece of information as to what is the Demon King afraid of. That being said, guys, the rest of the chapter goes on to show that Meliodas he's still no match for the Demon King in this form, of course. And when he's ready to basically make Meliodas' emotions disappear, this is when Wild attacks him. And he actually, boom, and we see this crater in the Demon King's armor, and it's sizzling and stuff. So we blasted him with a Kamehameha sort of idea. And this is where Wild shows up and he goes, "What rare beast?" And Meliodas and Vaughn are "What's going on here?" And Wild goes, "This is me in full throttle mode." And his tusks have grown, he's giving off an aura, his fur's all on end. It's pretty cool looking. It's basic, but sometimes simplicity and basic make for a good transformation. It's really cool. And apparently this is his ultimate technique, with the problem that he's actually draining his life force to do it. So I'm a little okay. No, I like Wild. Wild is a better Hawk to me. I know I might get some haters for that comment, but I prefer Wild, far superior to Hawk to me. And right now I just want Mama Hawk to come out and save her eldest son, save her boy. Because we all know that she's probably, when I talked about, here's the Demon King, here's the Supreme Deity, there's somebody in the trifecta, someone above them that they need to appease for some reason. Clearly Mama Hawk is the #1 candidate for that, being the mother of chaos, like some people assume. But either way, Wild having this form is cool and all, but he's sacrificing his own life force and such, and then blasts Meliodas into Bond, past the Demon King, and it's wait a minute, what? No, this is not happening right now, this is not happening. This is happening way too fast, which I'm glad they're not dragging out this battle, because we had such a long, dragged out thing with Estamel and Gother and Elizabeth and stuff, so I'm glad we're not dragging out this fight for 10 chapters or 20 chapters, but this is going very quickly, and all of a sudden they're shot into the door. They're shot into the chasm. Meanwhile, the Demon King blasts Wild, and it's an inner monologue with Wild, and it's all about, I'm the older brother. This 8 million years that I've been here, it was fine. This is as far as I can go. I would have loved just the fact that I know that my brother Mild has been alive this whole time. That makes me complete. I'm satisfied with that. And even though I regret, or I wish I could have met him, what he needs more than an older brother that he never knew, which is, that line right there made it so sad for me. Because as I said, I prefer Wild, even though we haven't known him very long. I like the character of Wild. He seems like everything that Hawk should have been in the series. And I just really like Wild. And for him to say, the two friends, his two real friends, he'd be much more happy with to see. So I want to, do that one last thing for my little brother, and give, that chance to him. And it's once again, guys, that line, just rather than meeting an older brother he never met, it's much better to have him bring back long lost friends, that he cares about. I'm just like, dude, not like, try not to cry. It's okay. It's okay, everybody. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. Wild is supposedly dead here after sacrificing himself, and the last page of the chapter showcases Meliodas and Bon in a very shocked state, in a just white abyss. If there was a little black in there, Tite Kubo would be proud. Just this white abyss background, and them falling, just like floating or falling of some variety in this white space. And it says that they have actually successfully Wild's noble sacrifice, and now Meliodas and Bon are traveling back to the real world. And it's like, okay, well, this happened really fast. I mean, could it have really happened any other way? No, because it would have cheapened the Demon King. The Demon King's power is still insane leagues above everybody else's. They still shouldn't be able to put like real scratches on him and stuff. They just found out a way to get around his magical ability, which was super OP, but that doesn't take away from all the strength he's accumulated and all the power the Demon King has in just raw form. So they were never going to defeat the Demon King in a straight up fight. So this is one of the only solutions that was left to us. But at the sacrifice of Wild, guys, I don't know. Break next week, so unfortunately, no 7 Deadly Sins next week. But this chapter, I like the chapter. The pacing is going a little fast for me, but the death of Wild, that hits home. Was it a necessary sacrifice, and was the solution to the way they were this get out of jail free card to the fight? Okay, sure, but yeah, I'm a little conflicted, guys. I don't know if Wild Sacrifice I'm 100% on board with. I feel like they all could have gotten away somehow. Like there should have been some other form of intervention. But anyways, that's the end of the chapter, guys, and the end of the review. What did you guys all think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Please like, subscribe, comment. As always, I always appreciate every single view, every comment, and every subscriber every single time. That being said, guys, drink responsibly, and we won't see you back next week, but we'll see you the week after for chapter 285 of 7 Deadly Sins. Looking forward to it, guys. See you back here next time.